All right, so imagine you live in a world where a bunch of dinosaur prehistoric power grids are running your whole entire world, and you thinking everything's all fine and dandy until one day you hit the light switch and the lights don't come on, and you sitting there wondering, damn, where's my lighter at? Where's a candle at? Do I even know how to start a fire? Do I know how impossibly difficult it is to illuminate a room without a power source? Nah, you're not thinking of any of that. Hell, you haven't changed the batteries in your flashlight because the last time you had batteries in them, you forgot to flip them so they didn't have all that corrosion built up on it. So now the flashlight don't even work. So you're not even ready for an apocalypse, but you think you're ready to be in a relationship. Funny. So here you are, sitting here. Meanwhile, my dad in a third world country has electricity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because he uses and harnesses the power of the sun from Mother Africa. That was a birthday gift we gave him. And now I sit here wondering to myself, in a country where the infrastructure is even worse and even more dilapidated and horrible, what would America do if we lost power for 24 hours? Let's talk about it. Not all night. Not all night. Not all night. How you guys doing? My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers, and let this be an incentive for you to probably invest in solar panels. You can get a tax write-off on them. But we want to talk about the power outage that happened over there in our Spain with our brothers and sisters across the pond to kind of figure out what went on and how's recovery and what some things we should probably be thinking about doing. Refreshing. Power begins to return after huge outage hits Spain and Portugal. Some summaries. Power outage hit Spain, Portugal, briefly France. Authorities tried to establish what caused the outage. Public transportation brought to a halt. Supply restored to some places. Madrid, Libyan, lesbian. The S is silent. Libyan. Power starts returning to parts of Iberian peninsula late on Monday after a huge outage brought most of Spain and Portugal to a standstill, grounding planes, halting public transportation, and forcing hospitals to suspend routine operations. This is something super critical because public transportation is such a huge part of moving around in European countries. This had to have been a nightmare. Spain Interior Ministry declared national emergency, deploying 30,000 police across the country to keep order as government from two different countries convened emergency cabinets meeting outages such as scales at extremely rare in Europe. The cause was unclear, with Portugal suggesting the issue originated in Spain and Spain pointing to the finger back up to the connection to France. Okay, so does Portugal get power from Spain, that Spain gets power from France? Portuguese Prime Minister Luis Montenegro said that it was no indication a cyber attack had caused this. I definitely think it was a cyber attack. Blackout, which began at 10:30 GMT. Nonetheless, rumors circulated with possible sabotage. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said he spoke with NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte. Sanchez said that the country had suffered a loss of 15 gigawatts of electricity generated 5 seconds, equivalent to 60% of national demand. The technicians were working to figure out why the sudden drop occurred, he said. Okay, and let's just be clear. Forecast demand, the red is the real consumption. So everything was on point. And the thing that brought a peak to my attention is April 28th. April 28th at 10:38, there was a spike at 11 a.m. A spike that wasn't even part of the normal situation. And I think that spike what initially caused it. But usually when you lose production, it's a steady fall. This is a cutoff. Someone turned something off. That's what makes me think that this wasn't done by very savory people. A mistake is a glimpse, is a blip, right? Or a steady decline. This shows that not even backup systems were able to respond in kind. Alert systems, things that would warn you about this happening, none of that shows here. There are hundreds of safety protocols in place to make sure that this doesn't happen, and none of those triggered, which leads me to believe it was out of their control. This is something that has never happened before. Yeah, being hacked. A board member of Portuguese grid operation REN told reporters that the company had not ruled out the possibility of very large oscillating electricity voltage for the Spanish system, which then speared to Portuguese system. So the surge voltage, which peaked here at 11 a.m. I know I paid attention in physics class. The Spain power started returning to the Basque country and the Barcelona area in early afternoons, and to the parts of the capital Madrid on Monday night. About 61% electricity had been restored by late Monday, according to the national grid operation. So that's good. Shops and metros closed. This is going to hurt the economy for sure. On a Monday, stock market going to be in the toilet tomorrow. It was just recovering. Actually, the stock market recovered nicely across the pond, so I'm not too worried about it. The backlash has wide-ranging effects across the peninsula. Hospitals in Madrid and Catalunya in Spain suspended all routine medicals workout, but still attended to critical patients using backup generators. Several Spanish oil refineries were shut down. Damn. The thing that's supposed to make energy couldn't run because there was no energy. Crazy. Retailers closed, including grocery chains and furniture stores like IKEA. Could you imagine buying IKEA furniture in a foreign country? Gross. There were traffic jams in Madrid city center as traffic lights stopped working. There should be emergency backup lights. Why don't all traffic lights run off of solar? Have solar as a backup option? We read an article not too long ago talking about how much the EU and London have turned over a green leaf. 41% of their energy coming from renewable energy. And there's this part of me that feels like, bitch, y'all ain't doing enough. Because if this is the consequences of a European nation or European adjacent nations that have the forefront of green energy and they're suffering like this, America's in no shape. We are not ready. We are in no shape. The internet traffic plummeting to 90% in Portuguese, 80% in Spain compared to the previous weeks, which is crazy. All the iPad babies were losing their shit. Power outages such as magnitudes are rarely seen in Europe, and in 2003, a problem with the hydroelectric power line between Italy and Switzerland caused a major outage across the whole entire Italian peninsula for around 12 hours. In 2006, an overloaded power network in Germany caused electricity cut across part of Europe as far as Morocco, and 43% of Spain's energy comes from wind and solar powers, with nuclear accounting for 20% and fossil fuel accounting for 23%, according to their energy think tank Ember. So as much as they use already, it wasn't enough. Like, they lost 90% of the internet, 60% of power was just getting restored, 80% in these other places. That's kind of crazy. And once again, these are green forward-thinking countries, right? This is a green focused centric place. So just imagine right now, if my power went out, I don't even think I own a flashlight. I don't think I own a flashlight. I have one candle, and it's 75 degrees upstairs. In the middle of Chicago summer, that's painful. Imagine Arizona, 114. People would literally melt away. So this is extremely interesting and a precursor, as I'm going to London in June. So Definitely be thinking in 28 days later, survival of the fittest type shit when I go there. But that's just the story I wanted to cover it, talk about it. It's going to be at the forefront of a lot of people's minds. Renewable energy has to be the thing. Solar panels have to be a thing. And I'm going to go on Amazon right now and order a flashlight. But everything between time and the meantime, let me know how you're going to prepare for the eventual degradation and fallout of our energy sources here in the Western world. Clap it. Yeah. I'm gonna